Hello, and welcome to another Tech Tips video from Solid Solutions Ireland. Today I'm going to be talking to you about customization and shortcuts inside of SOLIDWORKS. Firstly, I'm going to bring you through some of the basic keyboard shortcuts. The first shortcut is the spacebar. This allows me to bring up my view orientation menu. I can use this to view the part from the front, from the side, from the top, in isometric, and so on. Another useful keyboard shortcut related to views is the F key. If I'm zoomed in on one region of the model and press F on the keyboard, it zooms the part to fit the full extent of the display port. This works in assemblies and drawings also. If I press the S key on the keyboard, I can bring up a shortcut bar that gives me quick access to creating new features, or if I'm inside of a sketch, I can use it to create sketch entities. Or if I'm in an assembly, it'll have assembly relevant features, and so on. Another shortcut is related to the breadcrumbs menu in SOLIDWORKS. Breadcrumbs is a useful menu that appears in the top left hand of the screen that lets you see the hierarchy of how a part is constructed. I can see the part, the solid body that the face I've selected is part of, the feature that was used to generate this face, the sketch used to generate that feature, and the face I have selected. If I have selected this face, I can press the D key on my keyboard to bring breadcrumbs straight down to me. From here I can very easily access that sketch and edit it on the fly. Additionally, when I'm inside of the sketch, I can now bring my confirmation corner down to me. To exit out of the sketch, you can use this confirmation corner up in the top right hand corner, or you can click exit sketch, or if you're trying to save time, you can press the D key on your keyboard and it brings that confirmation corner down to you. You can now use it to accept your changes and exit that sketch. This also works if I'm inside of a feature and I'm editing that feature. I can press the D key to bring my confirmation corner down to me and accept change. Some additional shortcuts you may find useful are the mouse gestures. Mouse gestures in SOLIDWORKS are a really quick way of working with views inside of a 3D model or quickly starting sketches and sketch entities inside of a sketch. To use mouse gestures, you simply press on your right mouse button and slide your mouse in any particular direction. If you move slow enough, it invokes the mouse gesture wheel. You can then move the mouse into one of those segments and invoke the command assigned to it. For example, if I right-click and move my mouse out to the top right-hand corner very slowly, I can see this wheel appears. I can then move into that top right-hand corner and view the part in isometric. Of course, if you're really quick with it, you won't even see that wheel, and you can very quickly access your views with just a flick of the wrist on the mouse. All of these gestures can be fully customized, and we'll show you now in a little bit how we can access them. If we were inside of a sketch, we can also use mouse gestures very quickly. If I right-click and slide to the left, I can get a line tool started. I can then create my sketch, slide straight up, and access my dimension tool also. Where can we customize all of these mouse gestures, keyboard shortcuts, and so on? Well, all of the customization inside of SOLIDWORKS is found in my Customize menu. If I come up to my Options menu and click the drop down to the right hand side of Options, you can see I have my Customize menu. Inside of here, I have options for any toolbars I wish to have turned on. I can access my shortcut bars, which is what my S key brings up. I can access all of the different commands in SOLIDWORKS, customize my menus, keyboard shortcuts, mouse gestures, and reset all of my customization if I want to. Under toolbars, this simply allows me to turn on various different toolbars around the SOLIDWORKS screen. I can drag and dock them anywhere I like, or I can turn them off. Shortcut bars is really useful. Like I said, this is your S key. This is where I can go through and drag any command from SOLIDWORKS and place it on my shortcut bar. I can have a different shortcut bar for a part environment, an assembly environment, a drawing environment, or a sketch environment. You can see in my sketch environment, it has all of my sketch tools. In assemblies, I've got mating, and I've got insert components, and in parts, I've got adding new features. You can very quickly add in any command you like to it, simply by finding it here. If you did a lot of sheet metal work, you may wish to add something like a base flange onto this shortcut menu, and place it wherever you like. You may also want to grab edge flange and place that in there also, and so on. My commands list here lists all of the commands inside of SOLIDWORKS. I can very easily drag and drop these onto my menu bars in my command manager or any other toolbars that I've set up. I can customize my drop down menus if I wish, such as my file menu, my edit menu, insert tools, and so on. I can also fully customize and see all of the different keyboard commands that are assigned in SOLIDWORKS. For example, we can see the OR key lets me browse recent documents. We can see that Control and OR redraws. We can see the spacebar as my view orientation. F is zoom to fit, and so on. I can also now see my mouse gestures. By default, mouse gestures are enabled, but they're only set to 4 gestures, so you only have a limited list of different gestures you can access. In SOLIDWORKS 2018, they added the ability to increase it all the way up to 12 gestures. Previously, you could only have 4 or 8 gestures. 12 gestures can make the wheel feel a little congested, but it does give you a lot of very quick access to very common commands. Personally, I use a lot of 8 gesture wheels, and the standard layout of them is extremely useful, and I don't customize it too much. But if you wish, you can grab any command from this list over here and simply drag it onto one of the sections of your gesture wheel. And you can always reset back to defaults. Some additional configuration and customization you may wish to add to SOLIDWORKS is changing the size of the buttons in the command manager, or switching back to the old style buttons that used to be coloured in yellow and green. We can also change SOLIDWORKS to have a darker display style. To do all of this, we can right click on the command manager and choose Customize, or go back to my Customize option next to my gear drop down menu. Inside of Customize, I can choose my icon size from my command manager and make the icons larger if everything seems to look a little bit too small. I can now see much larger icons that are a lot easier to see. If you're a fan of the older colour styles that were in SOLIDWORKS previously, such as the yellow and green icons, we can get them back by clicking on my Options menu, either by clicking on my gear icon or going to Tools and going down to Options. Inside of Options, I can choose Colours, and I can set my icon colour to Classic. If I click OK, you will now see I get my yellow and green icons back in SOLIDWORKS. If you're a fan of a darker interface, we can go to Colours and select my background to a medium light. It gives me slightly darker. And I can choose increasingly dark shades of background as well, where I can go and choose a dark background. And that gives me a very dark background on my feature tree, on my command manager, and then my task pane. If you want to set the viewport background dark as well, you will have to change the scene. All of this is set inside of your template, so you'll need to go in and change your templates to give you a darker background as well. You can also set it inside of your options. Inside of your colors, you can set a viewport background, but then you'll have to turn off your scene. So I'll show you how to do that very quickly. We can go to Edit and select black or a dark grey color. And I can tell it down here the background appearance is either using the document scene or plain using the background I've selected. This is only the tip of the iceberg in customization in SOLIDWORKS, and if you want to know more about it, feel free to contact the Solid Solutions technical team. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again in our next video.